Can you introduce about yourself, please?
Of course, I'm Grace Lee
Yes.
from the UTS Law Faculty.
Yes.
I have been in the role as the Associate Dean Internationalization in the Law Faculty. That role is to look after international students when they come to us,
Yes.
and also to look after domestic Australian students
Yes.
and send them overseas to countries like Vietnam.
Yes.
Very happy to meet with you.
Thank you. So you explained about the common law system and the civil system.
Civil law system.
Civil law system. So can you please explain that? So,
Of course,
Yes.
of course. So there are two main legal systems
Yes.
in the world.
Yes.
They are the common law legal system
Yes.
and they are the civil law legal system.
Yes.
Sometimes we call these legal families.
Yes.
So in the common law family, we have countries like the USA, England, Canada, Australia, India, Hong Kong, Singapore.
Yes.
So a lot of major economies
Yes.
are in the common law family.
I see.
In
Yes.
comparison, civil law systems are the continental European countries, their legal system, such as France,
Yes.
such as Germany,
I see.
recently
Okay.
has been adopted by Japan later on. So those are the civil law countries. In the entire world, we have two major ones, common law and civil law.
Yes.
But speaking on Vietnam, that's different because Vietnam is socialist legal system.
I see.
Similar with China, but still different.
Yes.
So these are the individual legal system for that individual country.
Yes.
So we take it apart, then there will be just two major ones.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's good for the Vietnamese students to study law in Australia and then still get a job.
It's interesting. So nowadays, if we're talking about jobs that students get after their law degree,
Yes.
many of them will graduate and work in all different parts of the society.
Yes.
They can work for the government,
Yes.
major place, policy development.
Yes.
They work for private companies,
Mhm.
like companies' compliance officers,
Yes.
company directors.
Yes.
If you look at the big companies, well, even medium-sized companies, if you look at their company directors, their board of directors,
Yes.
they are always someone who has a law degree sitting on the board of directors for the company.
Ah, I see. Yes.
It is a very major trend. Apart from that, a lot of students, they graduate, they become practicing lawyers,
Yes.
solicitors. So those are the traditional ones that people will be thinking, I'll graduate and become a lawyer. But nowadays, that's only less than half of our graduate.
Yes.
And the other trends, which is a major trend now, for international organizations
Yes.
such as the WTO,
Yes.
such as United Nations, they always want someone who is a law background, but with more than one language and with the legal training in different legal system.
I see.
So this is another big area that studying law in Australia is very beneficial
Yes.
because it's English, it's common law,
Yes.
meaning you share the same system with all major economies.
Yes.
And if you are Vietnamese,
Another
you speak the language
Yes.
and a different legal system.
Yes.
And the Vietnamese economy is growing nicely. It's all putting together. It's a very nice package.
I see. Yes.
Mm.
Okay. Another advantage of studying law in Australia and in UTS, I reckon, is the data for the domestic student to get into UTS law.
It's very high
Yes.
for domestic students to get into law school in
Yes.
general. I always joking by saying, if you want to get into medicine,
Yes.
your score need to be here.
Yes.
If you want to get into law, your score need to be here.
Okay.
Everything else is here.
Yes.
Everything else is a lot lower.
Yes.
Why is this? It's because after you graduate
Yes.
from medicine, the salary you receive is here.
Yes.
If you graduate from law school, your salary is here.
Yes.
If you
Okay.
graduate from anything else, your salary is here.
Understood.
So because it's all market driven, that's why, for example, 2025, next year, we've already set the entry requirement for domestic student. That's 97.5
Okay. Over 100.
of 100.
Of
So it's
100.
very, very high.
Yes.
But for international student, we lowered it.
Yes.
The reason why we lowered it is because we want more international students that can add to the class diversification.
Yes.
Australia is a multicultural society. We need people in legal industry who can speak Vietnamese,
Yes.
who understand the business culture from Vietnam, to help with Vietnamese investing in Australia, or to help Australian investor, American investor in Vietnam.
Yes.
We don't have many of these people at all.
I see. So that's a lot of advantage for the Vietnamese students.
Yes.
And then you said the majority of students studying law in UTS is Australian.
Oh, definitely. We have UTS Law Faculty is one of the largest law faculty in terms of student size. One reason is because our location is very central,
Yes.
very easy to travel to. And another reason is because we use a lot of practitioners.
Yes.
We have a lot of our teachers, they are also lawyers.
Yes.
They're also the judges. So because our location is so nearby to their office,
Yes.
they come and they teach for us.
Oh, I see.
So we attract a lot of professionals
Yes.
to teach in our program. And students like that. Students
Yes.
like practical knowledge.
Yes.
They like that. So in terms of student size, UTS is always one of the largest.
Yes.
We're talking about 3,500 students overall
Yes.
for all our undergrad and postgrad. Unfortunately, because law is an area of study that sometimes international students get scared of.
Yes.
So we have so small international students. Out of that 3,500 student body, we probably only have 100 international students.
Wow.
That's very small,
Yes.
very small. This is very different to, for example, business study
Yes.
or
Engineering,
engineering.
yes.
Yeah, those are with a large number of international students. In law, very small.
Yes. I reckon more than 50% are international students.
For business and
Yes.
for in engineering.
Yes.
For law, I don't know, 1%, 2% maybe. Because with international students, we have more Chinese
Yes.
than anybody else.
Yes.
Vietnamese is very, very small. 1 or 2 students maybe.
Wow. Yes. So they do have the language. Then so basically, they study with all the very, very good students from Australia, and lots of
It
advantage.
is definitely the case.
Yes.
Even for Australian students, for them to get into the law school, not only that they need a high mark,
Yes.
for them to be able to get a high mark, they need to come from a very comfortable upbringing family,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Otherwise, they don't have the privilege of getting that high mark. Sometimes they go tutoring, sometimes, they need to come from a certain type of family, which is unfortunate for many of the people.
Yes.
But that's fortunate for international students. If their family is already running business, for example, they will have a lot more connections in law
Yes.
school than elsewhere.
Yes.
Mm.
I do have a few questions here. So let's start with the first one. Is it better to study law in Vietnam first? I mean, in bachelor degree, and then get an MBA abroad?
That's an interesting question. Of course, depending on the career planning, right?
Yes.
Some family, they don't need their kids to work, right?
Yes.
Some family, the kids will make their own living.
Yes.
For kids who need to make their own living, I suggest not to do an MBA in Australia, because MBA is more for people who have already worked for quite a
Experience.
while,
Yes.
good experience, and it's there to socialize with other people in the MBA.
Yes.
If too young, like in the 20s,
What is the point?
wasted,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
The other type of kids, they don't need to make their own living, but they might want to come help their own family business.
Yes.
For those kids, I reckon they will need to have a degree in business as well as a degree in law. Law is to safeguard, and law is to help the family to grow business outside of Vietnam.
Yes.
Law is a prestigious degree in the country, in the Western world. in America, 1 in 2 people have law degree. Can you
Yes.
believe it? It's not because they want to become a lawyer. Because that training of your logical mind, your speaking, your presentation skill,
Yes.
your communication skill, your persuasiveness
Yes.
in doing business.
Yes.
Studying business will not tell you how to become more persuasive. It teaches you the numbers,
Yes.
teach you the thinking. But if you have a law degree, the training of communication and the convey of a message, it's so strong. Every law student, if we pick them up at
Yes.
any point in time, they will just stand up comfortably, deliver a presentation.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
So that gives you that skill combined with your business mind. So that will be a very good package.
Yes.
In fact, we have some degrees combined degree.
Yes.
Business law.
Yes.
Business and law degree has always been the most popular combined degree.
Yes.
Mm.
So if one is considering, let's say, doing a bachelor degree in law in Vietnam and then MBA in Australia straight away after the bachelor degree, I reckon, doing a double degree bachelor, business and law.
Alternatively, if someone has done a degree in Vietnam, bachelor,
Yes.
I recommend for this person, if this person is from a business family doing business,
Yes.
or even in a government, so this person can go to Australia, study 1 year, a program called Master of International Commercial and Business Law,
Yes.
and combine this with the MBA,
Yes.
because this will take away 1 year from the MBA. In 2 years, they will have an MBA,
Yes.
they will have a law degree combined.
Oh, it's
So this one is
interesting.
very popular
Yes.
for international students.
Yes.
Because with the MBA, a single MBA is 2 years already.
Correct. Yeah.
And this is a post-study working visa and etc.
Yes. So
Yeah.
2 years for 85.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So what challenges do students who study law abroad face when returning to Vietnam and dealing with Vietnamese legal regulations, especially if they haven't studied Vietnamese law before? Go
Okay.
ahead.
I think someone who knows Vietnamese system can answer this question better. However,
Yes.
from my own experience of dealing with so many international students, I think law is similar to a few other disciplines where connections is more important than anything else.
I see.
For example, if we're talking about engineering or IT,
Yes.
they don't need to have many connections to be able to find a good job if they are trained. In law, you either have a very crappy job, which are the ones that they don't work on the social and the communication skill.
Yes.
For those students who's determined to study law, because they will be in the same classroom with high-performing Australian students,
Yes.
so they are being somehow forced to increase their level of connectivity
Yes.
with mainstream Australian.
Yes.
That's a very strong push. Many people literally overcome that challenge of being introvert, of not being able to talk properly, and etc. etc. When they come back, their level of confidence has raised so good,
Yes.
so well. So confidence is always the challenge for young people
Yes.
when they start to look for a job, right?
Yes.
So law is a very good stepping stone to build up that confidence, because it is hard.
It is hard, and it creates an environment that people can
Exactly.
perform better
Because you're forced into that environment.
because you have to do it. Because I do have a friend
No
studying
choice.
law in Sydney Uni, and every single day, he's reading like 50, 60 pages.
They struggle. All of them struggle. Even local Australian students, they struggle hard
Yes.
because law is not easy.
Yes.
But once you've done it, the level of confidence that it has given you
Yes.
is incredible.
Yes. Even Australian students, they struggle with law.
struggle.
Is that
Oh.
because of the understanding the definition? Or...
It's because if you're studying, for example, business,
Yes.
accounting,
Yes.
for example, you have a set of numbers
Yes.
and you have the correct answer.
Yes.
In law, there will never be a correct answer because everything is debatable.
Yes.
If there is a right or wrong answer, we don't need to have court anymore. So this
makes sense.
this mindset is scary for young people, because when they are at high school, even in Australia, they're at the school, they're learning math and English and history, they have the correct answer to go for.
Yes.
They will study, they will aim to get a correct answer. All of a sudden, they're in university, they're studying law, where everybody is telling them there's no correct answer.
Oh.
So they're lost. They don't know what to do. Why? What do you mean there is no correct answer? How do you mark our exam? We don't have exam. No exam.
So how the students are being assessed?
They're being assessed by the persuasiveness of their answer. It sounds weird, right?
Yes.
There is no right or wrong. So there is no point. If you come from your assessment, your answer is different to mine. Doesn't matter, because there is no correct answer.
It depends on how you answer.
Persuasive,
Yes.
how strong your argument is.
Yes.
So that's why even for Australian students, they're not sure, especially in year 1 and year 2 of law study. That's why that's the challenging part. Once you overcome that point, you know in life,
Yes.
not everything has a right or wrong answer.
Yes.
You need to argue for it. You need to put out your argument. You need to try to get it.
I see.
That's a
Okay.
training.
Yes.
That's so important for business, right? It's not about right or wrong, because nobody knows right or wrong.
Yes.
So you put 100% trying to prove you are right.
Yes. Okay. That's the mindset. So on that topic, can Vietnamese students who study law abroad, study law, let's say in Australia, find job opportunities in foreign law firms?
Very, very often. Foreign law firms call me and
Yes.
ask me to recommend someone who has a second language, who understand a different culture.
Yes.
Because as I said, there are not many international students studying law.
Yes.
I think it's a very high demand, especially with the development of Vietnamese economy. It's a very high demand in the legal industry, someone who understands Vietnamese culture,
Yes.
the language,
Yes.
also understand the Western system and
Yes.
how these things can play.
Yes.
This is a bit like China 15 years ago. 15 years ago, not many students studying law from China.
Yes.
In the past 15 years, it's grown
Yes.
because people start to see with the development of the Chinese economy, more investment
Yes.
invest out and invest inside
Yes.
the country. Then they realize they need to someone who understand the language,
Yes.
the culture,
Yes.
and the Western culture as well.
Yes.
So that's very similar with Vietnam right now.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So definitely, if they do put a lot of effort in, and then they have to be a good student, so the professor can have a lot of connection and recommend them for jobs later on.
We have internship program.
Yes.
So in our internship program, students can choose to intern locally in Sydney,
Yes.
or they can intern in other part of the world. In Vietnam, we partner with your parliament. We're sending our own students to Vietnamese parliament in Hanoi
Yes.
to help with the new law drafting for your parliament.
Yes.
So we have many opportunities like this. We can send your student to Hong Kong, for example,
Yes.
to intern with the Bar Association.
Yes.
We send your student to America.
Yes.
So with the student, even during their study, they get an opportunity to set up their own network.
I see. So let's say, there is bar exam in America, there is bar exam in Hong Kong.
There is a bar exam in America, in Hong Kong, in UK.
Yes.
But in Australia, students don't need to sit for the bar exam. They get qualified straight away.
So let's say if a student studying law in Australia, and then that one would like to go to America to practice law, so can they do that?
They can. So students who can qualify in Australia after
Yes.
their Bachelor of Law or Juris Doctor,
Yes.
they will need to take a conversion program, but it's only 6 months or less.
And then they sit for the bar exam?
Yes,
Yes.
straight away.
Yes.
In Hong Kong, it's about 3 months.
Yes.
In the UK, it's about 4 months.
Yes.
So it's like a passport.
Yes.
So if they qualified in Australia, it's a short conversion into other places.
Understood. So I know he's a barrister
Yes.
and he's
Definitely.
doing compensation. So the requirement for compensation lawyers, barrister, it's going to be the same?
No,
Ah.
different. Solicitor
Yes.
and a barrister, they are two subcategory of lawyers,
Yes.
right? Solicitor work with clients.
Yes.
Barrister work with solicitors. Solicitors are like B2C.
Yes.
Barristers are like B2B.
I see.
Barristers traditionally don't see the clients until the day of court hearing.
Ah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So for people, 99% of law graduate,
Yes.
they become solicitor because they have to set up their own network of solicitors.
I see. Yes.
So after 5 years, for example,
Yes.
if they realize they like the court
Yes.
experience,
Yes.
they can convert into a barrister.
Yes.
So barristers are being referred by solicitors. By 5 years, they have a lot of solicitor friends.
Yes.
They become a barrister. Barrister has a business from solicitor friends. However, if we're taking the entire lawyer as a job,
Yes.
92% of the people in that job remain solicitor for their entire life.
Hmm.
Only 7 or 8% they like the debating adversarial experience. Then they become barrister.
I see.
So very small percentage people wanted to become barrister. More people, they don't want to become barrister.
Is that because it's too challenging?
One is because people have different interests.
Yes.
Some people, they like verbal debate. They become barrister. Barristers' daily hourly rate is higher, but the number of hours is smaller than solicitor. Both are paid by hours, right? As a lawyer, you're paid by hours. Solicitor, because you work with a lot of clients,
Yes.
your hour can be a lot. Like one day you can work for 10 hours.
Yes.
It is not possible for barrister working for 10 hours a day.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
If a barrister has 1 or 2 hours or 3 hours, that's a very good day.
Yes.
So altogether, the income are not too much difference.
So can one be both solicitor and barrister?
Normally, when they become barrister, they don't do solicitor job anymore.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is like, when you go to, I don't know if it's the same in Vietnam, you go to general practitioner as a doctor, then you go to specialist.
That's in Australia. In Vietnam, we go
At
straight
the
to the
same.
hospital.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, okay. So that's the same thing. So you have to see solicitor first.
Yes.
Solicitor refer you to barrister.
I see. So
So-
people can go straight to barrister. Understood now.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the barrister has to rely upon their solicitor connections to fit in the work because it's risky. You don't have people give you work
And then you need the reputation, and then you need the referral.
from your solicitor friends.
Yes.
And plus, barrister only get a job for court hearing. But large majority of the legal issues are not court.
Yes.
Contract, setting up
Yes.
new companies.
Yes.
They are not court jobs,
Yes.
right? They don't need to go to court.
And then all the small ones like tribunal attend
They
to
solve
quite
the
a few.
problem. Yes.
So it doesn't
Yes.
require a
Fair
barrister
trading.
to be
That's
there.
right. Yes. So they have less job.
Yes.
Although the hourly rate is high,
Yes.
but less job.
I see. Okay.
Very different.
Okay.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, it's still, it's potential for Vietnamese students if they put in a lot of work
Oh
and then
yeah,
effort.
definitely. It is very, very possible if that's the interest of that person. But it's very rare, even for Australian. They don't go straight into barrister. They become solicitor for a few years,
Yes.
then they understand,
Yes.
then they become barrister.
Yes.
By then they will have connections and clients and so forth.
Yes. And let's say during 3.5 years of doing bachelor, what should they do to get, more possibility to get a good job after graduation?
Internship. From year 3,
Yes.
they're able to from second half of year 2,
Yes.
they're able to choose to do internship.
Yes.
And we offer them internship opportunities. They only need to take it.
Yes. They don't need to look at all.
No, we gave them.
So they don't need to attend any career fair and talk
No,
to
we gave them.
Wow, that's
If they're Vietnamese student, if they come back, we place them into your parliament. straight
But
away.
it's guaranteed for all the law students.
It is guaranteed for international student only.
I see.
International student taking priority.
Yes. Okay.
And
Interesting.
international student, if they want to intern in Sydney,
Yes.
locally, we have so many internship opportunities. We prioritize the international student.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful.
So that will help them so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think I got all my question answered. It clears a lot of things in my mind about
That's good.
how barrister and then solicitor works.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
having you in Ho Chi Minh City.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Very good questions.
Thank you.